Oh, welcome to part 2 of the witch panel vlog. Before we get into what we're doing in this one, I wanted to apologize. I'm doing fast forward footage in this vlog. As a result, the first vlog, one, was 40 minutes long because of the fast forward footage I did. But when I was editing it, when I got to the sections where I had the fast forward footage, I took out the audio that was with the clips because it would have sounded like chipmunks squeaking. And I overlaid some music in with it, not thinking about YouTube. And when I posted the vlog, I shared it to Facebook, shared it on Twitter, and then about an hour later I got a notification, hey, having problems, someone had posted, hey, can't follow the link, there's a problem with the link. So I went over to YouTube, took a look at it, and YouTube had blocked it, copyright claim. So I ended up having to delete the vlog, remove all the links I could find where I put it on Facebook, re-edit the vlog, and re-upload it. So you got part A twice. And I wanted to apologize for that, and I wanted to apologize for the silence in the vlog 2 on those sections. You'll probably have the same thing with this one. Because YouTube ain't going to like the music. So I figure I'll give you a little bit of fair warning. There is going to be some fast forward footage in this, and there's probably going to be no audio with it. So with that being said, carving is done. We've gotten all the panels carved. It's now time to move into paint, and we're out in the main shop. Our first step with painting on these is doing a primer coat on there. It helps to kind of seal the foam up a little bit and blend down the pink, because the pink will show through real good if you don't do some sort of primer coat on it. So we're out in the shop. I got my paint mix, getting ready to put in the sprayer, and we're going to start spraying all the panels, get all the panels coated. Now normally when I'm spraying out here, due to all the paint dust in the air, I normally don't do any video recording because it gets all over the camera. Oh, what the hell. After YouTube, screw them. I'm going to film it. So we're going to get you a little bit of fast forward footage. The actual spray on the panels does not take long. I mean, it's like maybe 2 minutes to a panel. So I'm probably going to do 3 or 4 panels, and you'll get a clip of me moving around the shop, putting panels up and what have you, and getting them sprayed. And then we'll call it quits. I am not going to vlog shooting all 40 some odd panels. But we're going to get started with some. Well, there we go. I think you get the idea. I just got to go over each and every panel and do that. Now, I've only got enough room to do about 25 panels in here. So there's no way I'm going to get all 46 done right off the bat. And I think, since I have some time, I got a couple other projects I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to get about half of these primer coated today. In other words, sprayed white. They'll let them sit for a day or two to make sure that white is good and set up. And then we'll come in, we'll start adding colors. And our first color we're going to shoot is the brown for the wainscoting, or wainscoting. And then we'll move into doing the wallpaper. Now I do have a decision to make, and that is on the skull. The skull I want to remain white. But since I got to spray this whole thing with brown, I don't know if I just want to go ahead and spray brown, come back, sand the skull down to get the brown off of it, and then touch up the white. Or do I want to take the time to go through and tape off each skull, to protect the skull? I haven't decided that yet. I don't know if I want to go through that much work. Depends on how much energy RAM has. But for right now, we are done with vlog footage. Next segment will be on dealing with the brown, which will be in a... Okay, it's been a couple of days. I let the panel sit out here and dry a bit. We got the primer coat on. Now our next job is we've got to shoot some paint on here, add the coloring. And we're going to start by doing the wainscoting, which is going to be a brown. Now, before I could do any spraying, I've got some prep work to do. First off, when you're spraying paint, you get a lot of overspray on it. So I've got some paper cut out here, and we've got to get it laid across this section here and taped down. So when we get up to this edge, we don't get any brown paint up here in this area. The second piece of prep work that we need to do is with the skulls. When I go to spray these, that skull is going to get covered. And I don't want it covered in brown, because it just makes more work later on down the line. Since I want the skulls white, if I were to spray it brown, I'd either have to re-sand each of the skulls to get the brown paint off and then go through and touch up the white, or leave the brown on there and put multiple coats of white over the brown to cover the brown. Either way, it ends up being quite a bit of work, regardless of which way I go. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up covering the skulls with tape. Now I've got a couple of panels done in here, and as you can see, I've got blue tape over the skull. It's just a matter of applying the tape and then coming back through and trimming out the skull, so it's only the skull covered and not any of the wainscoting. That will protect the skull. Once I'm done with the brown, I can come back in and peel that tape off and I'll have a white skull. Now for the overspray, here's the paper I was talking about. And I've got it taped on as well. Now once the brown's done and is dried totally, I can take this paper off and actually move it so it's hanging from here down. That way when I go to shoot the coloring up top, I don't get that color on the brown. And I'll save a little bit of touch up. But I'm still working on the first 23 panels. So right now I've got to get all 23 panels to this stage. And I was debating on shooting footage of me putting the tape on the skulls and putting the paper on. Just like heck with it. I don't want this vlog to get too damn long. So anyway, that's my next step. I've got to get all the panels to that state with the blue skull and the paper on it. Then we can set up and start shooting paint. Well, it's been several days and we've got the brown done and dried. It's time to do the upper section now. I've gone in and I've taken the paper, which was up here, and I flipped it down here onto the brown because we're going to be doing the top portion in a green. Yes, green. I figured green might say witch. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be really interesting to see what it looks like when it's done. But we sprayed it, we moved the paper down to the bottom to help prevent overspray. I just got done getting my paint mixed up, got the first panel up. Let's get the camera up into the tripod and we'll get you some shots of the green being sprayed. Hey, now that the spraying's done, we're back in the house. We're going to finish off the painting by brush, and right now the step I'm on is getting the rest of the base coat on. I'm going to start out with, I've got to get the tape off the skull. I'm going to give the skull another coat of white. We'll do the eyes and the nose on it, and then this raised portion on the coving on the wainscoting, we're going to paint that a little bit different color of brown as well. And then we've got to go through here and get all the bats painted, get their base colors on. Now, one other step I'm going to be doing on some of the panels, and this one is one of them. When I went to shoot the green, I taped off a piece of paper across here to protect from a lot of overspray. You know, right there in that area. I didn't want a heavy layer of green through there, so I taped it off. But one thing I am noticing on most of the panels, not all of them, from when they were sitting and drying while I was spraying the other panels, the paper stopped right about there. And I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but you got a nice brown section here, and down here it's got a slight green tint to it, and it's on all the way across the panel. So I'm going to come back through with a little bit more brown, and these insets I'm going to just repaint by brush real quick so it matches the bottom. So that's the work we're getting ready to. Let me get the camera on the tripod. We'll get you some fast Well, we're getting down toward the end of it. We're on the last major step. So far we've sprayed and we brushed and we got all the base colors on. We got the two different shades of brown on the wainscoting, and then we got the green and the purple up on top. The green being the background and the purple being the bats. And we're into fine detail work now, all the panels. I need to come in. I got a little bit of touch up here and there on some of the panels around the skull where I got some white on the brown. I need to go through and touch those up, which is about a 2-second job. I then gotta get the face on the or the mouth on the skull down there. That is also a quick job. What is taking time is the bats. I mean, you look at it right now, they really don't look like bats. Of course, after the work I do on them with this stuff, they still don't really look like bats. But it needs more detail. Just it's kind of blah. So I'm going to go through by brush, and we are going to add gold highlights to all the bats. And that takes a while. There's a lot of bats. There's 21 of these wreaths on here. There's 4 bats to a wreath. You do the math. Now I've got all the wing fragments, down the center and stuff to do. So we're going to do that. And we'll give you the fast forward footage. This will be the last of the fast forward footage for this vlog. So sit tight and we'll get things Well, that's done. And there you go. There's the finished panels with the detailing. I put two of them together, the wainscoting and the skulls. The mouths aren't perfect. Each one's different, so they're not all uniform. But they've got teeth. They look a lot better with teeth. The bats, I kind of mimicked the pattern a little bit on what the pictures had on them. It's similar. But anyway, the only other step I have left to do on these, and it's only one step other than putting them away, is I need to pull 6 of these panels, and I'm going to cut them right down the center to make 12 1-foot panels. Each set I do has 12 1-foot panels, just for the odd length of wall. I'm not going to explain what I mean by odd length. I think you guys can kind of figure it out. Some walls are shorter, some walls are longer. Some are 2 foot, some are 4 foot, some are 3 foot, some are 9 foot, and I just explained it. Yeah. Either way, but I think we are done with this. Now it's going on about middle of May. I mean, actually middle of April, excuse me. And I said I'd have this project done by the end of March, so I'm a little late with getting the vlog up. And the project took a little bit longer than normal. Simply because I got lazy. I've been taking a break with things, doing other things. So it made this project take a little bit longer. I apologize about that. But anyway, I'm going to let you go. Stay spooky, stay toxic.